Hello again my friends, this is the boy and his dog, and welcome to the channel where I talk about, play, rank and review games on the Evercade old and new. In today's episode, something a bit different and keeping in line with the spooky season, this is my top 10 games to play this Halloween on the Evercade. First of all, I was wondering, are there enough games now to do a video on it? When I thought about this in the past, there wasn't. In fact, now there's quite a few games depending on your parameters for a Halloween title, so I had to narrow it down to just 10 and put them in order of basically what I prefer to play at Halloween. Simple as that. This is just for fun and just my opinion. Note, you will need various devices and cards to play all the games on this list, and some may or may not be affected to find now, but it's not my fault. I like what I like, and if it's good, it's good. Am I right? Let's get started with my top 10 games to play this Halloween on Evercade. At number 10. And at number 10 it's Dracula the Undead, a point and click adventure originally published by Atari and released on the Atari Lynx handheld in 1991. And the reason this is here, first of all, is what can be more spooky season than the Prince of Darkness himself, Christopher Lee. Okay, sorry, it's not Lee, but the eyes would have you believe it is. And yes, he was the best Dracula, even in the many films he didn't speak. There is no argument in this. Hill, pre-dug hole, casket, tombstone, the works. We shall not be moved. The reason it's number 10 is it should be on the list, but it won't be for everyone. It's very slow paced by nature, being a point and click affair, and can confound for quite a while, not least as it's hard to see when there's something worth seeing and interact with in the environment. Still, if you can get into it, this will while away the hours. Definitely more suited to the Super Pocket or even better EXP. As being a Lynx title, this can look a bit garbled on the VS. If you are interested in playing this title, it's on the Evercade Console Cartridge 13, the Atari Lynx Collection 1. Number 9.
Bone Marrow. 718 years. The world will not be the same again. After the blood moon descended, all the evil spirits that lurked in the darkest corners awoke and filled our lands. The time for the courageous and brave is ripe. It's your time, hero.
Bone Marrow is a puzzle game developed by Huge Pixel and PSCD Games and originally released in 2012. For it is spice, as they say, a surprisingly addictive little head scratcher when you start understanding it. The initial added main character can throw your head for a bit of a loop to begin with, even if you know how these types of games operate, but give the dear little thing time, there is a surprising amount of depth for a simple puzzle game. It's the added RPG elements that are what give it that extra addictive quality, I think, for me anyway. Slowly leveling your character up by killing enemies and taking higher grade items. And it's great visually seeing your character's armor and weapons slowly look more awesome the further you go. The setting and sound effects are totally perfect for Halloween. Worth playing at least once to hear that wonderful narration on the front end. Just beautiful. Once you get the hang of the game, and the opening stages aren't too hard to conquer, but the final one is such a bitch, I still have yet to beat it. But I haven't given up trying. This game works on all devices, but again it feels perfectly suited to the Super Pocket or EXP. If you're interested in playing this title, it's on the quite wonderful 37th Evercade Console Cartridge, Indie Heroes Collection 3. And in at number 8... Wigs, a 3D platformer developed by Eurocom and originally released in 1999. A cutesy looking 3D adventure set in the world of children's fears, nightmares and dreams, much harder than it first looks, worth playing this Halloween season to try out the analog controls alone. They definitely do help. Though they don't always help with the jumps because the camera is still a bit dodge with using the shoulder buttons. It's a shame we can't map to the right analog stick. I did try but it don't properly work. Not with the controller I used anyway. This sizable adventure has enough to keep you busy through the entire spooky season with different worlds filled with levels, races and lots to collect. There are even costumes to dress up, each with their own powers and switches to activate which become part of the level's puzzles. Great to play on both the VS and portable on the XP, but you may struggle with the Super Pocket shoulder buttons. Though it does look lovely on the Super Pocket. And if you're interested in this title, it can be found on the 29th Evercade console cartridge Pico Interactive Collection free. At number 7. Splatter House Part 2, a 2D side-scrolling beat-em-up originally published by Namco and released in 1992. And how could we not include a bit of side-scrolling Jason Voorhees mask wearing wannabe bash 'em up? Though for me not quite as fun as the third instalment, you still can't go wrong. It's perfect feel for Halloween. It totally looks the part with great little graphical touches and animations. There is of course a downside. This is not only on a legacy cart, which means if you can get hold of one, prices will definitely vary, but one that only plays on a portable, so the EXP, Super Pocket and upcoming Alpha are fine, can't wait to play on that, but the VS is a no-go. There is a workaround of course. If you manage to scoop an original working white or black EXP, they play on the TV. So keep in mind that the EXP-R does not have this function. The cartridge you're looking for is the 6th Evercade console cartridge Namco Museum Collection 2. And at number 6, it's Soul Reaver. Firstly note, this top 10 is what games I'd most likely play during Halloween, so maybe not representative of a best of list in general, but as the cart is probably going to be hanging around anyway, might as well get some more use out of it, that's what I say. It feels great with both analog or regular D-pad, so don't worry if you haven't got a compatible analog controller just yet. The audio and atmosphere is fantastic. There is wonderful lore that gets built upon beyond this and is more importantly set up before this, so it's a great chunk of an ongoing story. Look, you get to fight mutant vampires and some are basically zombies. You can steak them, fry them in water for that lovely morning smell of bacon, or melt them in sunlight like an unlicked ice cream. Oh, and you also steal the souls of your victims, which is nice. How Halloweeny can you get? Thank you. Moving on. Oh yeah, sorry, if you're looking to suck some souls this Halloween, then you'll find Soul Reaver on the 41st Evercade console cartridge, the Legacy of Kain collection, which is also a Giga cart, meaning it's bigger but slightly more expensive, but within a decent range. At number 5. And it is of course Splatter House 3, a 2D scrolling beat 'em up originally published by Namco and released in 1993. It's like a 16-bit version of Resident Evil, I think that's the best way to describe it. You've got a mansion to explore using a map after completing each room to help you choose which door and order you'd like to take the rooms in. You've got mutant beasties to slay and someone to save with some great choices of words and a cheesy story to boot. What's even better, if you don't manage to save Jennifer in the ridiculously strict time limit, the game still continues and it alters how the story progresses. So neat for the time. Bloody love this game. Case closed. Again, we run into the same issue as with Splatterhouse 2. It's a legacy car and will not run on the VS, but will on everything else. In fact, it's the same collection as before if you want to try and track it down, the 6th Evercade console cartridge, Namco Museum Collection 2. Number 4. And at number 4 is Dark Chambers, the 7800 version. Let's be clear. Right, this one's not as tricky as some of the last ones to play, but still has only one of two ways you can play it. Either only on the VS, and presently alpha with both Atari carts inserted, as it is a secret hidden game. The second option is newer, buy the new Atari Super Pocket when it's released, as it includes this absolutely beauty of a title on there too. This game is what I've always called Gauntlet Stoner Edition, and it is exactly that. The game for the most is chill as feck, you explore one instant floor after another, grabbing treasure, weapons, potions and keys to unlock doorways to further treasure or the ladder to the next floor. Complete the game and it loops to harder setting. At its higher difficulties, it can become decidedly less stoner gauntlet and more oh feck of the bleeding feck, which is great after the long slow burn, but slightly terrifying at the same time. I will always love this game. I'm not entirely sure why, I just do. Shame it wasn't just on a cart, as it will be perfect to play on the EXP. At number 3. And of course, it is the legendary Ghouls and Ghosts. There are two ways to play this absolute beauty, either with the Capcom Super Pocket Edition or an original white or black EXP, which also, remember, is the only way you can also play on your telly. Sorry, there is no way to play on your XPR, the Alpha, or most sadly VS's. Go on, torch yourself, you know you want to. Legendary in its toughness. Is it really as tough as they say, or just like a Souls game where it just takes a lot of practice and learning how each area works? But it can be very unfair at times, let's be honest. That much is certain. But a quick save and unlimited continues at your disposal, and a whole lot of patience. Is it actually entirely manageable? Who cares? I like the pain. Give me the pain. And at number 2.
There is a magical operation of maximum importance. The initiation of a new aeon. When it becomes necessary to utter a word, the whole planet must be bathed in blood.
You knew it was coming. This game was released perfectly for the Halloween season. Couldn't have asked for a better release time. It's fantastic on the XP, a narrative tale to carry around with you, because this dude don't shut up. He will go into detail about everything new he sees or item you pick up. His hour-long dialogue when making tea is the stuff of legends. Okay, I may have lied about the tea. More's the shame, but we love him for it.
That's him! End it! Now!
You will have the blood you hunger for.
Not sure what's going on with the FMV intro, but it's a bit more artifacty and blocky than usual for Evercade. That is mostly smoothed out on the XP or Pocket, I must admit. Oh, it is so lovely to have on portable. But equally on the big screen, if you can forgive its slightly rough edges, but only slight in my opinion, this game is such a horror-filled treat. I will refrain with going into any more detail as I have a full review coming this month, hopefully. I'm getting there. Meanwhile, this is a perfect Halloween treat to gobble up.
I had crossed death for this moment. My mind was empty save for one thought. I would kill.
And finally, at number 1. And of course, it's Deus, a top-down horror game developed by Isma and originally released in 2019. This game should not only be number 1 on most people's list this Halloween, but on quite a lot of top 10s in general. It really is that good. It can get jet black dark if you let it, and it all starts so sweetly, well after your initial nightmare. But it's a seemingly lovely little village filled with interesting characters and locations to explore. But the more you talk to these villagers, the more you realise there's something under the surface. They aren't normal, and get less normal by the day. You have 3 days to solve what the hell is going on before hell really does go on and on and on. But there's a surprising amount of things you can learn in those 3 days, and once you reach the end, jump straight back in, with your previous knowledge being able to start things earlier and get even deeper into the cracks. It's wonderful, wonderful dark stuff, and with, I think they said 11 endings, don't quote me, soon we will be taking up that challenge, can we get them all? But with approximately 11 endings, this game will keep me coming back. It's the perfect pocket adventure too, practically built for your Super Pocket or EXP, but great on a Sunday night in front of the idiot box too. I can never ever praise this game enough. Praise Deus. And if you want to play this, and you should, it's on a still fantastic collection, their 17th Evercade console cartridge, Indie Heroes Collection 1. And there we have it, my top 10 games to play this Halloween on Evercade. So what do you think? Any surprises? What would your list be? I know I admitted Atari's Haunted House, and although I appreciate its importance, this is my top 10 and I just couldn't squeeze it in. And if you've made it here to the end of the episode, thanks ever so much for joining me. Leave a thumbs up or comment if you'd like. And even if not, I'm still chuffed you poked your head in for a goosey gander. As always, I hope you're having the most awesomest of days, my friends. And until next time, be seeing you.